All right, queens, grab your popcorn and Prosecco because we're binging with my bitches. It's back. And tonight we're talking movies and series, the good, the bad, and the ones that make us ugly cry. It's me, Cheese, here with the fabulous Sue and Toni. But first, we are going to talk about our week. What's been going on, girls?
Yes. Well,
Love it.
so I'll tell you, Hank's gotcha day is coming up, and it'll be 3 years since I
Oh,
rescued him, or he rescued me. I can't believe so we think he's going to be 6 because basically I say he was 3 when we got him, and now he's gonna be 6, and I won't be here, so I feel like a bad
oh,
mama, and, so today I gave him his little gift, and I gave him a bag of birthday treats, and so at least I got to celebrate early, and then he'll get to celebrate at his daddy's house, and, Michael said that he was going to cook his meal because he makes his raw food in those little packages, and I'm like, "What do you mean you're gonna" Yep. Oh, yeah. So Daddy Michael, so he's gonna cook it for him, like, cook it up so that it's, like, hot and like chicken cooked, and so
yeah.
the dogs go nuts for that. So he's gonna cook him his meal, and I'm sure he'll have a gift or 2 for him. I would be shocked if he didn't, but, yeah, so little Hanky is gonna be 6. Can't believe it. Already had him 3 years.
Cute.
Time
What a
Oh,
flies.
darling
I know.
birthday baby. So
I know.
cute.
Yeah.
I've been testing out, have you guys done any of those like Trader Joe recipes when you see them come on social media? I decided to, now that my appetite's sort of coming back from all that craziness the past 2 weeks, I'm going to try that. Well, they have a couple of different recipes. One of them is you go and get the Trader Joe's mushroom ravioli and you boil it and then you set it aside and you take butter and olive oil and just and then throw in garlic and then get that all cooking and then you throw in the raviolis and a little bit of pasta water and you throw in the sofrita Italian spice that's from Trader Joe's and then throw in some spinach. Oh my God, it's fabulous! Like fabulous,
yum.
easy, quick. I think I sent you guys the recipes. It's easy to make. So, especially for you, Sue, when you're cooking for one, it's easy to do a small
Yeah.
little recipe like that. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing,
Awesome.
messing around with this week.
Well, let's get into our binging with the bitches, shall we?
Okay,
Yes.
let's
Let's
do it.
do it. All right. So I'll start if you don't mind.
Yeah, go
If
for it.
that's cool. So my pick is Love and Bananas. It's an elephant story, something that's near and dear to my heart. If you know me, you know I love elephants. I've loved ever since I was a little kid because I have lots of elephant stuff. And I remember my favorite stuffed animal was a big old huge gray elephant. Anyways, it's a powerful and emotional documentary filmed in 2018. There's this director, Ashley Bell, and she follows Lek. Lek is the elephant rescuer who I was blessed enough to spend a whole 2 days and a night over at the sanctuary in, Thailand a couple years ago, and so Lek is badass. They go on a journey to save an abused Asian elephant named Noi Na, if that's how it's pronounced. The film is about 75 minutes. It's on Apple TV. I think it might cost a few dollars, but it's worth it. And I should have just bought it. I think I had like done the rental, but now I just need to own it. And so she rescues these elephants. So a little thing about her background, and we got to meet her. She's tiny, tiny little lady. She's adorable. Her family was in the trucking business, and she decided to go against them and start a sanctuary and start saving the elephants. So you can imagine how that went over.
What do you mean
Not very
trucking
well.
business? They were like trucking the elephants. They were transporting
Trekking,
them.
elephant trekking business, and so
Tracking. Oh, tracking. Wow.
she trekking, and so
Yeah.
she ended up basically going against them, doing the opposite and saving them, and so they disowned her.
Wow.
So, I follow they have a amazing social media. We'll talk about that. So, anyway, so this story, so when she has to go get these elephants, this particular elephant was 500 miles away. So, Ashley Bell joined her in a small team, and they're in like this truck. The elephant was 7 years old. Had spent decades in captivity, and so they film this whole experience, and then they also there's one part in the movie in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely beware. It's
Hard to watch.
very traumatic, it's hard to watch. Mom and I were kinda, like, in between, our hands like, oh my God, because but here's the deal, you kinda have to see it because I didn't know this is what occurs in order for elephants to perform, to be tracking elephants, carry the logs, to, do all the street performance or circus stuff like that, or to ride them. So it basically shows what they have to do, the practices that they have to do to these elephants in order for them to be like a show elephant. And I promise you, you will never want to ride an elephant again. We weren't even allowed to touch most of the elephants only because they're abused by human hands. So there's a few when we were feeding them, we were allowed to kind of like touch their trunks a little bit, but that's it. And so it's just crazy amazing what they do. 500 miles. They have this elephant. They have to get it into, the truck and then go through transporting it up to her sanctuary. One of the cool things was that the former owner, Lek, was able to get him to try to change his mind about things. And so I'd say there's just the one little distressing scene. You just got to be careful in the beginning. After that, it gets lighthearted. And at the end, they show Meadow, and she is a disabled elephant. We got to hang out with her twice, and you can see her hip is all disjointed because a male elephant had like injured her and she'd been abused, and she's friends with a blind elephant. So they're paired up and we got to make them birthday cakes. And so I was just so moved when I was there. I saw this movie after I went to visit Thailand and spent couple days at the sanctuary. But I came back and I got my tattoo of the mama and the baby to talk about it. I donate money all the time. I have this little mama baby necklace that the funds went to their sanctuary. They're building more acres. They need more room because she keeps taking, not only does she take elephants, but she takes cattle, she takes pigs, dogs, thousands of cats and dogs. And so I donated. I get like my little name on a plaque, and I'm like, can I have it say, my name in, Texas or whatever? So they said, sure. And so I'm constantly checking in and on all the sweet adopted elephants, the rescues that she takes. But Sweet Meadow is in the movie, and I'm like, I know Meadow, we got to hang out with Meadow. So it's a really good documentary, and it just, it was nice because I met her and I met the elephants and spent time there, and I can't wait to go back and, volunteer. I wanna volunteer for, like, a week, and that they'll have you with all the animals. So it's Love and Bananas, and it's on, what I say, Apple. You might have to pay a few bucks, but, get your friends over to watch it and just spread awareness about not riding the elephants, because I have to tell you, if you go to Thailand, everything's dubbed a sanctuary, right? They're all sanctuaries, but you have to make sure you find the ones that do not ride the elephants, because unfortunately, there's still a bunch of sanctuaries out there that they allow you to ride them, and you should not be giving them a dime of your money. I think if everyone stopped going to them, they would go out of business and they'd be forced to change their business model. So, and you can
Mhm.
kind of see in this documentary how one guy changed his business model and still made just as much money. So please, please, please don't ride the elephants and don't give your money to the sanctuaries that do, because they're not legit. So this sanctuary, Elephant Nature Park, this is my hat. I had to buy a hat because it was hot and sunny. We were walking around all day long and I was dying. So I bought my little souvenir from them. So yeah. So that's my movie.
It reminds me of two things. There was a documentary called Elephant Queen that I watched on a plane ride, and it was tracking elephants kind of passage for a year and all the animals that kind of are around them. And I discovered that I like dung beetles and I hate bullfrogs. Like, this documentary was so fascinating, but I think even more interesting. I had a girlfriend who worked for a company that would package and sell bottles of wine. And she sent me a case. She asked me like what flavors of wine that I like. And I love Cab, and she had one in there called Elephant Feet. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's no longer ultimately Elephant Feet. I told her like this is my favorite bottle. And she's like, interestingly, Elephant Feet is orphaned baby elephants. And what they do is they cover grapes with plastic, and they have these baby elephants. They would stomp on the grapes, and they made this wine from these little orphan baby elephants, and it was called Big Feet, and it was my favorite. And there's actually a YouTube video of it and just having them like lead them over over the grapes and stomping on them. At first I was like, wait a minute, how does that work? Like that seems dirty. And then said that the plastic wrapping helps. But I don't hopefully that was not something that was bad for the baby elephants. It seemed like it was just a way to have them involved in something kind of unique.
I
But
mean, you would hope if they were still with their mamas, if the babies are still with their mamas, then that would be a good sign. It's when they
these
break
are
they have to
orphaned.
they ha
They're orphaned.
oh, yeah, because you know what?
Orphaned.
The mama's already been abused to get away from the baby, and that's, like, the hardest part is and
Uh,
these animals are so sensitive. They are incredible. They're so, so sensitive and emotional. So it's like ripping these babies away from them, and it's just devastating. It breaks my heart to see and hear the stories.
aw.
It really does.
Tony, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, I remember, when Sue actually did that whole trip and that experience she went to the sanctuary and how it really moved you and how it changed the way you saw how elephants were being abused, and I remember that whole time that you shared that with me, so I think that's great that, you're sharing this and letting everybody know and creating awareness around it, so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
absolutely.
why I felt obligated to get the tattoo. I love my tattoo, and people ask about it, and then I can share the story and let them know, "Please don't ride the elephants. It's not a good
Exactly.
thing. I promise you."
Aw,
So, yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
one. It's not that long, and you just have to maybe cover your eyes a little bit during, kind of in the beginning. You'll know the part. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, cheese, what are you binging? I know you've been
Yeah,
binging a
what you
bunch of stuff
binging,
lately, but
girl?
what's keeping you up?
okay. Well, I have Nicholas Hart. Nick Hart. He is my, pickleball prom pick guy. One time we took a picture at a pickleball event and we determined that it looked like kind of like we're posing for a prom picture. And so then every pickleball event we started taking these prom pics. And one event he wasn't there and I took a bunch of prom pics with every other person just to rub it in. But anyway, Nick Hart and I ran into him the other day and he was talking about this show, and it sounds almost like it's along the lines of Sue's called Animal Kingdom, but no, it is not. What are you talking about,
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom? This sounds like either a ride at Disneyland or a theme park, or it sounds like a safari kind of thing. I said nope.
Okay.
It I and I'm gonna tell you, I think there's 6 to 8 seasons. I binged this and finished it all from the moment he told me. I think I took one detour, but I was just like constantly that would be what I did on my downtime when I had the opportunity. So it's considered a good series by many. It's on Netflix. And if you like dark, like kind of character driven dramas, like crime dramas, think of a family of, bad guys with Ellen Barkin at the helm. Like she is the one kind of ruling the roost with her boys and her grandson. They're just, to me, they're like just compelling characters. Like every episode, you're like, it's kind of gripping. There's something kind of engaging and shocking, and it's dark and tense. And like Ellen Barkin plays an amazing role as the matriarch. Smurf is her name.
Murph.
And, there's about 5 characters in there who are constant ones, and they are so good. It's just an engaging storyline, unpredictable decisions. You're not like, "Oh, yeah, this is the way that's gonna roll." Nope. It's a nope. Some might find it a little overly dramatic, like eye roll, like, "Okay, whatever," but in general, it's an addictive series. I can't put it down kinda thing. So, if you are a fan of the kind of crime drama genre,
Yeah.
I highly thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. No kissies for this one. It's not a kissy one.
I'll have to check it out.
So, yeah, I really recommend it. It's really good, and, I'm excited to hear what you're, all about. What are you binging, Tony? Do tell.
Well, as you can see, I'm wearing a Titleist hat, golf hat. So mine is gonna have a little sports comedy drama. But so if you know me, you know that I love a show that just sneaks up on me, and that's what Stick did for me. It's one of those dramas that kind of tugs at your heartstrings as well. If you like a kind of a drama comedy where there's a person that's having a hard time and they're trying to get to a better place and you see them get to a better
Like the
place, you're rooting
underdog.
for them, right? So that's what Stick was for me. It came out in I think June, and it's on Apple TV. It was created by a guy named Jason Keller. And the star of the show is Owen Wilson. He plays Price Cahill. I love Owen Wilson, by the way. I
I
like it.
love Owen.
I love him in a lot of the movies or shows that he plays. But he's a former pro golfer whose career had fallen from grace. So there's like 10 episodes. It's the first season. I just heard that they just renewed the second season. So that means people are watching and people like it. So that's good news. So I can't wait to season 2 because I powered through the first 10 episodes, but I did not watch it back to back like you did on your last show that you
Maybe my
talked
mom
about.
watched it. My mom did watch it twice, so
Oh,
maybe I
she
take
did?
after my mom.
Yeah, you do take after.
She watched it twice. Yeah, I must
Oh,
take after mom.
oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. So the cast includes Peter Drager, who's plays a young man named Santi. He's a young golfer. And has a great golf talent. And his mom, Mariana Trevino, plays Lily Kay, and Mark Maron. A shout out to Marty. It's one of his favorites. Mark Maron. He plays Mitt, who is Cahill's golf caddy, or former golf caddy. But he has dry humor. But the premise and the tone of the whole thing is right. Owen Wilson, who plays Price, he is stuck in a rut. He's coaching amateurs. He's trying to sell clubs. He's trying to recapture a sense of dignity and purpose. He's just like fallen downhill in his life.
It's kind of like Kevin Costner and Bull Durham, where he's like, the kind of the washed up guy. Kind of.
Yeah, totally. So, one day he just happens to see this guy, young Santi, like hitting at the driving range, this young teenager, and he's extremely talented. And he decides to try to convince him to be able to mentor him. And he eventually convinces them. They hit the road and they start going to tournaments, and things start going really well. It's like a feel good vibe, pulls at your heartstrings. It's got humor, the dynamic and of the whole thing is sort of like they say, how good Ted Lasso was. That kind of, what do you
Yes.
binge? It has sort of like that feel like of Ted Lasso, I would say. I still want to say, even though I love this show, I loved Ted Lasso, right? So you got
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
sports and somebody
right.
that's trying to, coach a young, kid along. It's very charming. You fall in love with Price. You want to see him win. You're like rooting for, like you said, Sue, you're rooting for the underdog. Right? You're like, let's do this, dude. Let's get there. Right. But overall, it was definitely something that I really enjoy. I cannot wait for the next season. I think that if you like something with a little bit of sports, a little bit of humor, the dramatics of family, bottom line is I am all about how things make me feel. And when somebody's stuck in a rut and how they can change their life around, you know me, it's all about mindset. And so that is kind of what I like. So like the final words, I guess, stick. It might not, be relevant to some, genres that you probably listen to or want to watch, but the strength lies in the heart over the gimmick of the show. People that are flawed have second chances, and you appreciate that. When life gives you lemons,
Right.
you make lemonade, right? So yeah,
Right.
no, I really liked the show and I recommend it. Again, it's on Apple TV and they approved a second season. I can't wait to watch the second season. It's good.
So would you say sticks with
Yeah,
you?
it sticks for me.
Hey, so cheese. I told Tony this. Okay, so my mom watched it and fell in love with it. She's like, "You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." I'm like, "Okay, fine, fine, fine." So I put it in, and then, "Have you watched it? Yeah, have you watched it?" I'm like, "No, not yet." So I put it on, and like literally the first episode where he finds this young
Yeah.
kid at the
Yeah.
driving range. Well, I don't know what it is, but Hank, and I knew this when I first got him. He does not like we already talked about how he doesn't like thunder, birds chirping, and cop cars. Well, the fourth thing he doesn't like is the of the golf club, that sound. And so this kid is hitting balls and Hank is going ballistic. And I'm like, what the F? I can't hear the TV. This is sucks. So I had to shut the show
What does he
down.
do? Bark, or what does he do?
He goes nuts. He jumps up from his sleeping state and just barks and goes crazy. And so I said to my mom, I'm like,
Funny.
"Mom, I can't watch this at home because Hank, it's the golf clubs and like commercials when there's that golf club noise. I don't know if he got abused or what, but he does not like that swishing of the golf court of the club. So now I have to watch it when I travel on planes. So it's like, you know how that is. Sometimes you're in the movie, sometimes you're sleeping. So it's like, so right now I think I might be on only episode 2. And so that's it. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
taken me forever to get
Either
there.
that or put earbuds in or something like that.
Put
Like when
Oh
earbuds
you
yeah,
in
I
it
guess
and
I
watch it from your phone or something, yeah.
well no, I can do my Apple
On your
AirPods to
on
my
TV? Oh,
TV.
that's a good idea then. Do that. But
Okay,
it's
maybe I'll do
definitely
that.
worth it. It's
Yeah.
charming. It's family. I just love it. I really did
Yeah.
enjoy it, and I did power through it for sure.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like
yeah.
shows like that. Yeah.
I love it. I'm going back. I
The
am
first
going
time
back.
my ex was a stick. He was like, I didn't know what that
Wow.
meant, but it means
Yeah.
you're a great golfer,
Mhm.
like scratch
Totally.
golfer.
Yeah.
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 See, I
So,
didn't even know that.
yeah, that's what that I
All
learned that
right.
too from some golfers that shared with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we learn
It's like
everything.
if you want to sound like you're in the know, ask people if they're a stick.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I'm
Well,
not.
yeah, well, if these
I don't
reviews
know.
I think that's a wrap. So if these reviews made you feel something, don't just let it sit there.
Hit like, share this episode with someone who loves a good binge-worthy movie or show.
And hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss our next binge worthy or other podcast conversations. See you next time, Queens.
And as a reminder, you can watch us on YouTube, Apple, Amazon, Spotify. We're on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok.
Thank you for your support. What's that?
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.